Hello Lumberjacks, I'm Carl John Watson, and coming up on SFA TV2 Nac Edition, we'll cover SFA basketball season opener, Nacogdoches playground renovations, and why shopping local matters this season. Stay tuned. Your SFA SU men's and women's basketball team kicked off this season last Monday at William R. Johnson Coliseum. Both teams have big ambitions for the upcoming year after falling short of their goals last season. The women's team kicked off their season against the Texas Southern Tigers, capturing their first win of the year, 86-45. The team was on a historic shooting run, a record-breaking 46% from deep. This resulted in the most three-pointers made in a game in school history. What a season opener for our Lady Jacks. The men's team played right after the women against the University of Dallas. The men's team dominated on both sides of the ball, also securing their first win of the year, 85-51. The team used their size difference and trust in their teammates to overpower the Crusaders in rebounds and assists. This goes out to both teams good luck, and if you'd like to find out more information about the team schedule or the players, visit www.sfajacks.com. Our next story, the city of Nacogdoches is moving forward with plans to renew McCrimmon Park's playground. This week, the city council approved a contract to install new playground equipment aiming to provide families with a safer, more enjoyable space. McCrimmon Park has been a favorite spot for local families, but its equipment has long needed an upgrade. This project will bring in modern, accessible play options, including new slides, swings, and interactive play panels for kids of all abilities. Funded through bond funds, this improvement is part of a broader initiative to enhance local parks. With the contract now approved, construction is expected to begin soon, and the city anticipates the playground will be ready for visitors in the coming months. City officials hope these upgrades will give families a safe, inclusive space to gather and enjoy the outdoors. Stay tuned for more updates as the project progresses. In our next story, after debuting in the National Intercollegiate Flying Association SafeCon 2024 competition, the members of the SFA Aviation program are more excited than ever. Lumberjacks who enter this program will leave with several pilot certifications along with their degree upon graduation. John Jack Gaynor, Chief Pilot Instructor, and Carson Hopper gave us more insight into the program and their experiences with it.
Stephen F. Austin State University's aviation program focuses on commercial pilot training that puts our students into different industries like airline flight, commercial cargo flight, charter flight, but our graduating students all have a flight instructor certificate as well, and they spend quite a bit of time after their first year of graduation training new pilots.
Being in the program, it was very nice. We got to have a lot of hands-on training, a lot of in the classroom work that went hand in hand. The courses worked out great with the flight lessons that we had to do, so it was a really, really easy lateral training.
Stephen F. Austin State University's School of Theater and Dance will perform The Three Musketeers from November 14th until the 17th. The play follows the adventures of two siblings as they travel to Paris for an adventure where they will meet the Three Musketeers and run into trouble with Cardinal Richelieu. This play was directed by Cleo Housekeller, who had to say this about directing.
So what I like most about directing this play is just that it has so many different things going on in it. We have the fight choreography, we have comedy, we have drama, there's experimentation with style in this play. So it has a lot for everybody, I think, to do this show. So that's kind of one of the big attractive things to me.
For more information, visit SFA School of Theater and Dance website or social media pages. Our next story is for the Lumberjacks specifically. It's that time. As the semester comes to an end, now will be the perfect opportunity to stop by the ARC and get the help and resources that you need. The ARC will be offering tutoring services for all SFA students as finals approach. Tutoring services can be scheduled by appointment or walk-in. You can find the ARC at the Ralph Steen Library and attend sessions with tutors that will help with your academic needs. Follow the ARC on their social media page to keep up with daily info. Shopping local in Nacogdoches is about more than just convenience. It's a way to support the community, preserve its character, and foster thriving local economy. From the downtown boutiques to the farmers market, there is something for everyone when shopping local in Nacogdoches.
Nestled in the heart of East Texas, Nacogdoches is a town where tradition meets community. Here, shopping local is about so much more than convenience. It's about building connections, preserving our culture, and investing in our future. From cozy family-owned boutiques and one-of-a-kind artisan shops to bustling farmers markets brimming with fresh, locally grown produce, Nacogdoches offers a shopping experience unlike any other. When you buy from local businesses, you're supporting friends and neighbors who are passionate about what they do. These small businesses don't just provide goods and services, they embody the heart and soul of our town. Every purchase keeps our local economy growing strong, sustains local jobs, and helps preserve the character of Nacogdoches for generations to come. Shopping local also means finding treasures you won't see anywhere else. Goods made with care, products that tell a story, and people who genuinely care about their customers. It's an experience you won't find in a big box store, and it makes every purchase feel personal. So next time you're in town, consider stopping by a local shop or market. When you shop local, you're not just taking home something special, you're helping keep the spirit of Nacogdoches alive.
The biggest shopping event of the year is around the corner. Retailers around the country will offer Black Friday deals and savings online and in store. Keep an eye out for anything that you may need for next semester. Whether you're shopping for new electronics or picking up dorm room essentials, now is the perfect time to get the best deals for the semester ahead. Make sure to check out your favorite stores like Best Buy for tech, Target and Walmart for dorm decor, and Amazon for just about everything else. I am not a fan of Black Friday. I'm more of a fan of Cyber Monday, but you can stick with us when we come back. We'll be talking with Derek Jackson, Director of Chi Alpha, which is a ministry on campus. We'll talk about how Chi Alpha inspires students to begin a self-growth journey and remain positive despite what troubles might arise throughout their college experience.
Welcome back, Lumberjacks. I'm Lauren Mitchell, and I'm here with a special guest from Chi Alpha, Director Derek Jackson. Chi Alpha is a ministry organization who strives to make a big impact within the community and on campus. Today, we'll talk about their mission, community, and how they're supporting students every day. Welcome to Nac Edition, Mr. Derek.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you this morning.
So
today.
First, I kind of want to start off the conversation with just how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a good day today. Had a good lunch with my wife, so that was a good time. And so yeah, it's doing good. Thank you.
That's good. No problem. So first, I kind of want to dive into your opinions about the division that we've been seeing in society a lot more recently, but kind of in general over the last couple of years. You know, there's been a lot of just discourse back and forth with multiple groups of different people within our nation. So I just kind of want to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think there has been some divisions that have been going on in our country, really all over the world. And I think there is sometimes some agenda that's behind that other groups have that are really trying to divide our country. And I think really in a time like this, we really should be looking for things that are going to be pulling us together instead of tearing us apart. And sometimes it's really easy to focus on the negative things, but there really has been some positive things around our country that we do share in common. And really, we need to start focusing on some of those things that are pulling us together as a country.
And so are topics like that, do Chi Alpha kind of like dive into that? Topics like inclusivity, you know, mental well-being?
Yeah, we do actually jump into mental well-being. And we talk through like really how God can help you with your own things that you're going through mentally. Like he made us, he designed us. And so he knows how our brain works. We also talk with our students and other people as well about that we do believe in that there does come a point in which we would say like counseling is a great option for you right now. Like this is beyond my pay grade, right? Like I'm a pastor, but there definitely is a time and a place that we think for going to see a counselor or a therapist. And really, I've gone to see one before as well. And I really think they're really great at helping us to to really like give you tools that can help you process the things that are going on in your life. And so they don't always give you the answer to your problem, but they give you the tools to help discover what's going on in your life and maybe how you can process through those things. So yeah, I think there's a partnership that can happen with great counseling, that with the spiritual and with the tools that the counselors can bring, that can make a great partnership for you to be able to grow as a person and individual, for sure.
I definitely totally agree. I've had my fair share of trying to continue within counseling, but also trying to continue within my religious beliefs and my faith.
Yeah, absolutely.
And kind of to like backtrack, I want to ask a little bit of information about Chi Alpha.
Yeah, sure.
What is your role within Chi Alpha, and also when was it established here at SFA?
Okay, yeah, so my role here is the campus pastor director, so it's myself and my wife are the lead pastors, and then we have another staff pastor on as well with us. And but our organization was actually founded here at SFA in 1967, so we have a rich history here. We have a house that's just right across the street from campus that we're able to have as a ministry home for students to come, study, and hang out, things like that as well. So yeah, it's been around for quite a while. I've been here for about 16 years at this point, so it's been a little while.
When did you start preaching for Chi Alpha?
So I got here in 2008 is when I first came here. Yeah, it's been a little while now.
Are you from this area, or were you from somewhere else?
I'm a Louisiana boy originally. Yep, Louisiana. I grew up outside of Baton Rouge, and my wife and I met at Louisiana Tech. That's where we graduated from. So yeah.
Okay, and what exactly is Chi Alpha's mission, and what do they kind of say to like reach out and empower students? Yeah,
so we actually believe that our goal is to build lifelong disciples of Jesus, that we learn what it is to who Jesus is, how to follow Jesus, and how to teach. We even teach students how to teach other people about Jesus and who he is. So building lifelong disciples. That our goal is not that you just know Jesus in college. We want you to be able to know and have a vibrant relationship with the living God throughout your entire life, like not just your 4 years or 3 years you're here in college. And so we really seek to empower students of teaching them really how to take the Bible and read it and know what it's saying and how to apply it to their lives and how to share that with other people as well. And so that's one of the main goals. On the back of my shirt, it says, love God, love others, and live lumberjack proud. And those are the three things that we really strive to live by within Chi Alpha.
And is it just kind of like on campus, or do you try to kind of outreach to the community as well? Yeah,
so we do some outreach, but the majority of the stuff we do is definitely on campus. It is a student organization, so we are specifically geared towards college students in particular, yeah.
And what is it, your student leadership? What exactly does it, like, do they do? Do y'all kind of, sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. Do you kind of combine or sometimes collaborate with other student organizations, or? Yeah,
we do some of that as well. We have, there's plenty of campus ministries here on our campus, and one of the things that I found, I've been on several different campuses, and I found that within our campus in particular, that we have a very united front with as far as our other campus ministries and stuff on campus, that we work well together, and really we see us as like partners in ministry on the campus at SFA for sure.
And if you had any advice for students looking for, a home or like a fellowship, or any ways that students can get involved, what would be those ways? Yeah, so for us personally, we have an Instagram account. You can check out our Instagram account, or you can go to our website to get involved. But really just showing up, saying hi, meeting some people. We have a bunch of events so that you're welcome to come check out events. Like we have karaoke this Friday, where we'll do that at our ministry house, and then we have an outdoor worship service we'll do out there on Tuesday. So you can just show up, but like we want you to find a place that you can really feel connect, that you have good, strong relationships and can grow in the Lord. So. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It was very nice to meet you, Mr. Jackson. If you would like to get involved with or learn more about Chi Alpha, be sure to follow them on Instagram at SFAXA.
Welcome back to Nac Edition. I'm Blake Neubauer, and this is a little segment that we like to call Sideline Shenanigans. With me today, Mr. Chris Simmons. Chris, thank you so much for joining us.
Blake, really happy to be here, man. I always love getting to talk sports, and it's a great opportunity.
I appreciate that. I know you're a very busy guy, so I appreciate you a lot being able to come here. So last night, men's basketball, they played Laterno University.
Laterno is college up from Longview area, and close game. surprisingly close
Very
throughout
close.
most of it. It was one of those that, it's always a good thing when basketball season's back. That's always been my first love and heart, and getting to watch the Lumberjacks last night was fun. I was surprised a little bit by just the effort that the Yellow Jackets came out with. I mean, they played hard, played well, kept it close for a long time, up until about 7 minutes left in the ball game. It was there's a 3-point game. So then the Lumberjacks able to pull away, but man, it was a fun game last night.
Yeah, and a big shout out to Keith Lamar for the Lumberjacks, 17 points last night. Nana and Matt Heyman both with 14 points, really knocking down those threes. I was surprised with Nana. He was shooting that rock last night.
Yeah, listen, that's been something that they've been working on for a while, especially in the offseason. And I've been actually had the opportunity to get to see Nana back in high school and broadcast some games from him. He went against one of his high school teammates last night for Laterno in Deontay Jackson. They both won a district championship at the high school level together. And I remember watching him play in high school, and the shooting stroke wasn't like that. I can promise you that. So, he's willing to, if he can be a big man, spaces the floor, that provides a lot of opportunity for the SFA offense for sure.
Yeah, grabbing the boards and shooting the three. I mean, I guess based off last night, seeing how we're shooting the rock this year, how do you think the season outlook is looking? Having now Nana, for example, who he's going to go up and get boards and disrupt the paint, but also shoot it from the outside.
Yeah, if you can stretch and space the floor, you're gonna be effective. But right now, the shooting percentage, they're not shooting it at the highest of clips that they want to. If they can get to shooting between 38 to 40%, they're gonna feel really good about things. Right now, I think it's a learning process. There's a lot of new faces on the team. It's interesting to see how they're coming together and playing. And I think it's a filling out process of being able to trust your teammates, knowing where they're going, where they're not going, space the floor, knock down the open shots, and especially your first couple of home games out of the year. You've got fans in the building, and there's a little bit of extra juice in you. So learning how to control, stay within your legs, shoot the ball well, those kinds of things are gonna be fun to figure out throughout the year. But man, I'm excited about the team. I love the pace that they play with. Last night, some turnovers, some not finishing by the basket really helped keep that game close. I think that stuff irons itself out as we move forward.
Yeah, and the chemistry is something that I'll definitely build as the season progresses. I know the season is still very early, but speaking of a season that's starting to kind of close a little bit, SFA football. Last week, huge news. QB Sam Vidlac did not play last week, and we fell short to Texas or East Texas A&M, 19-14. I mean, that was. Yeah, that offense definitely was struggling without Sam under center.
It's tough because anytime that you are missing the second leading touchdown passer in all of FCS, including, he's played 9 games. All the other quarterbacks in the standings have played 10. He's at 27 touchdowns this year.
Yes,
he's been fantastic. And so anytime you're missing him, he's been able to produce so well. He has a great connection with Kylan Harris, and it's hard to ask anybody to step in and replicate that because their offense has really been something that has hit the home run ball a lot. I mean, out there, it's a 50, 60-yard touchdowns at different times. It's been a lot of explosive plays, but when you don't have Vidlac there, who is just, dropping dimes, he's had a fantastic year. It does put a little bit of it's a letdown a bit, obviously, for the loss last week, but it's also understandable when you're missing your guy, missing your leader out there on the offensive side for sure, that it can be a tough hill to climb trying to come back from that. And so now, still 2 more important games, but it does make it a lot more difficult to try to pull off the end result that they're looking for. Yeah,
and Vidlac, as you mentioned, in 9 games, 2,400 pass yards, just a little bit under, 27 touchdowns, and only 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
He has been a spark for that Lumberjack offense. Hopefully they'll be able to figure that out for the last couple games because, I still think there are conference hopes to win that championship.
Yeah, there's some. They got to have some help. There's going to be some maneuvering around to make
certain
that happen.
Certain teams have to lose.
Yeah, certain teams got to lose, and you got to get a little bit of help. So they're not in the driver's seat of what they want. But I just want to remind Lumberjack faithful that if you've been at the home games, you've gotten to see that it's been some blowouts. It's been just the offense looks amazing, and they really have played well. On the road is where there's a couple losses. They would love to get those back. They'd love to get the McNeese game back. They'd love to get the East Texas A&M game back from last week. But I still think there's 2 more really high-powered, or really fun, entertaining games coming up on this Saturday and the next. And they still have a shot. It's an outside shot, but there's still a shot to be able to pull off something really special. I think what they've accomplished this year, though, actually has been special. And it's been something that's, hey, this is a bright spot, and there's a lot of returners coming back, too.
Definitely something to change the culture here for SFA football. Yeah. But speaking of football, jumping into the college football playoffs are about to join. with the AP polls, they change all the time. Who's your favorite to win it all?
Oh, well, that's a fantastic question because right now it seems like a toss-up from week to week. And actually the team that I like the most is sitting on the outside of what the playoff projection looks like. Whenever I see Georgia sitting at 12th in the polls, but not even in the playoff bracket because of the 12 team, that's interesting. It's also largely a part to do. You see the top 5 in the AP poll, Penn State, kind of expected to be up there.
For
Oregon,
sure.
Ohio State. The Indiana is a huge wrinkle that I don't think very many college football fans saw coming up before the season started.
Yeah, there's been a lot of great storylines. Personally, I'm a big UT fan. So
Yeah.
obviously, I want UT to ball out. Quinn Ewers
Yes.
was great to start the year, went into Ann Arbor week 3, had a big win there, got injured, was a little rusty, but I mean, this past weekend against Florida, it looked like he really found his groove again. And I think they could be very scary going into the playoffs. Are there any, I guess, dark horse teams maybe that you could think could join?
Well, it's interesting to see how you get into that mix of top 12. What I think is an interesting storyline with this whole thing is figuring out who from the SEC. That's the question. Who from the SEC is going to make it? Because you can make the case for 5 teams easily. You can make a case for 6. You might can get to 7, but there's four major conferences. You get 1 at-large bid. That's the kind of stuff that's shaking out now, especially with the chaos that all the teams are at least at 2 losses. That's a really big deal when it comes to SEC play. I think anybody, I do favor the SEC. I do like watching. I do think they play on a different level of football for the playoff, and I think any one of those teams could do it. I would love to say Texas. I'm actually a Texas fan. My brother went there. I love watching them play. I've always rooted for them, and one of my best friends is a huge Texas fan, so I get to hear everything every single week about them. I would love to say, hey, let's just go Texas. It's possible. It really is possible. I would love to say, let's go Texas. I don't know, man. Every week seems to be different with who could pull this whole thing off.
Every week is definitely a toss-up, and I would say definitely I want Texas to win, but my favorite, I guess, dark horse team is sitting just right outside of the top 12. It's actually Boise State at 13.
Right.
They're at 8-1. We're talking about how SEC, the premier conference, and it's usually those top, the Power 5 conferences, and so seeing Boise State at 8-1 just outside, I mean, for me, it's Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone at home does not know Ashton Genty, this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah.
In his junior year, 20 years old, in 9 games, he has 1,734 rush yards and 23 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been unreal, and because the way that he runs the ball, it is their team is not approached that is well balanced. They're not trying to just keep things and like spread it out or mix it up. No, they're gonna make no secrets about it. He's getting the ball and he's gonna run the ball well, and he's literally carried that team on his back. Can that survive against a Power 4 school? I don't know. I don't know how that plays out, but he's been so fun. It's hard not to like somebody when they're consistently going over 150 to 250 yards in a single game. That's big time.
And for me, what it is I love about how you mentioned everyone knows they're going to run the ball.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of like a Derrick Henry at Alabama.
Yeah.
The way he runs the ball is we're going to run it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to juke you.
Yep.
I'm going to run through your chest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be dancing in the end zone. And I love seeing that old school style of football still. And like you were saying, could they do that against bigger schools? And week 3, I thought was huge because they actually played the number 1 team, Oregon, in week 3.
Yep.
They lost by 4 points, and
Exactly.
Genty had 192 yards and 3 scores.
There's no doubt that their offense and him personally can go through and hold their own against any of the major schools. The question will be on the defensive side of the ball. Can you keep other teams from scoring these high-powered offenses that you maybe haven't been seeing as much of in the regular season? So seeing what they could do, he's been a treat. They can compete anybody on any given night, especially when it goes to 12 teams. I think it's going to be for a lot of fun come December.
And are you personally a fan of the 12-team playoff bracket?
I am. I think why not? Because I mean, limiting it to 4, I get it. It made every game so much more important. But what I've experienced this year, knowing that there's 12 teams, it doesn't make it life or death situations as a fan watching every game. But it's still just as intense. You still want your team to win. You're still pulling for them. I heard the argument said that if you go to 12 teams, that you're not going to be able to. Every game won't mean as much. Every game will have a little decreased meaning and make it eventually like baseball. Well, that's definitely not the case because it's a much different situation between college football and professional baseball where there's 162 games, all that kind of stuff. But I love it. I love getting to see these teams. Who would have thought when we talked about 12-team playoff that Georgia would be the one on the outside looking in right now, and they've beat that team, that number 3 team.
Yes,
so
sir.
it's really interesting. I think it's making for a lot of drama and a lot of fun here towards the end of it.
A lot of drama and a lot of controversy.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite storylines, though, is back actually here in Nacogdoches.
Yeah.
The SFA women's soccer team.
Yes. How cool is that?
Winning conference. I mean, winning the Southland Conference is huge. They were 8-2 in conference.
Yep.
I love seeing that. I love for them to have their own recognition finally.
Yep.
Because I feel like for so long, they're kind of overshadowed because they play at the same time that football does and basketball and volleyball. So to see them shine is something that I think is great. And I was wondering what your thoughts are on it.
Yeah, I got to talk to Coach Ben Williams last night at the basketball broadcast, and high-powered offense going from like 2 wins to 14 is a big deal. The scoring offense, 3.5 goals per game, and only giving up like 0.4 goals per game. If my math is mathing, that's a great thing. And so I'm really excited for Lumberjack soccer.
Well, I appreciate that. I appreciate you taking the time
Yeah.
to sit with us, Chris. And I thank you so much as a viewer for taking 30 minutes out of your time to sit with us, all of us here at Nac Edition. Myself here, to everyone in the studio, thank you so much. And most importantly, Axe 'em Jacks.